fun, and we're back for our 1 year anniversary birthday bash Inquisition. Can't believe it's been about a year since we started doing this. We've done so many amazing guests, and I'm hoping that we can have some good bands tonight. We're getting the band back together, the original lineup. We're having Richard in with shite internet. We're going to have some, and we'll see how late Penge is going to be, because it's Penge. Will he turn up? Will he not turn up? Who knows? He's a homeowner now. Oi, oi!
Oi, oi!
And it's Mr. Quavers himself. How you doing, pal?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Good. How's your working week been so far?
Same old, working hard, but been looking forward to this, so yeah, all good.
Sweet. Working hard or hardly working?
Hardly working, delegating as usual.
Well, you've got to do what you've got to do. Sending your apprentices for banana screwdrivers and all that sort of stuff.
You say again?
Sending your apprentices for banana screwdrivers and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Hey-o!
Hey, Simon, how you doing, mate?
I'm alright, how are you?
Not bad. Let's see how long it'll take before Penge makes an appearance.
All right, Simon.
Alright, mate, how are you?
Yeah, good. Getting the band back together. Yeah.
So does that mean that Simon's are?
Now.
So does that mean that Simon's the Robbie Williams of the band?
Yeah, I think
I'm Gary.
so. Yeah, left and became more successful and cooler than all of us.
He's just slightly more. He's just slightly more hair than every single one of us put together as well.
Oh yeah, I do the whole try and hide the bald patches, push it all forward. I think I'm not looking too bad. If I do that with my eyebrows, it makes me look less bald. So I'll do that for the whole interview.
Excellent. So how's life treating you, Simon? Are you well? You're not working today, are you?
No, I'm a week off. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I'd be at work now.
See, it was something in the stars that just went 1 year anniversary. Simon will be off. Casey's going to be late, and Funhouse Richard is going to be being a funhouse.
That's right.
But it's hard to believe, boys. It's been a year. Like we've been through quite a lot of amazing guests and a lot of not so amazing guests. We've had Richard on like 50,000 times, but it's been quite a year.
Yeah, it's gone quick. It's gone very quickly. Hard to believe that 12 months ago I was sitting in my car outside Wilco's.
And whatever happened to Wilco's? The Inquisition started and Wilco's ended.
It shut down. It's empty building now.
Yeah, that was
the
first one, wasn't it? It was Casey in his car, you in your car, me in my little room. You had to go to work. I think Casey got shouted at by his missus, and that's how it all started.
Penge was on holiday. Casey was on holiday, wasn't he? Casey was on holiday with his missus. So he was parked outside his caravan.
Simon was in his car outside Wilco's, doing some sort of dogging or whatever they do in Stoke. You were having some internet issues, and I had more hair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think I had more hair.
I think we all had more hair. So, as it's been, has there been any particular standouts? We might as well fire on, because Penge is going to be Penge. He'll turn up probably in about 40 minutes and apologise, saying his son was a twat and all that good stuff that he does anyway. Right, Pikey Paints, thanks for joining. Simon, I'll come to you first. Has there been any particular guests that you were so happy that we got on when you were part of us?
Trying to think who we had on. I mean, Pitchy was good, but I speak to Pitchy loads now, so it doesn't feel like a guest anymore. It was nice to get Beard on. It was nice to get. Who else do we have on? I'm trying to think who we had on. To be honest, they were all good in their own way. I don't think we had a bad guest. I think I enjoyed everyone in their own way.
Yeah, I would say exactly the same thing. I think when we first started, I know I kind of geeked out when we had Graham McNeil on. I asked him the same question like 5 times. I was pretty hard cut, mind you, in Belfast from my missus that weekend. But I think as we've went on, like from where we started to where we are now, and even with your own thing now, what's it? The Elements of the Walk. Oh,
Echoes of the War.
Echoes of
That's
the
a bit
Walk.
of my right now, but yeah, go on.
I think where we started to where we are now, like our interview skills and our speaking skills have come on a lot better. He says using really bad English. Adam and Peachy were your favourites, Peachy. Yeah, like Tactical Painter was brilliant as well. We love getting on like the bigger guests, like the bigger names. But like one of my always go to people is Dave versus Shark, that he only picked up in lockdown, commission painter now in the States. Right. His journey was unbelievable. What about yourself, Tricky? Any particular highlights for yourself? Like rattling off 50,000 questions inside 1 minute?
I mean, I always panic when I ask the questions. I get overexcited at the best of times. But Warp is always good value, isn't he? I mean, you just wind him up and watch him go. I mean, I really enjoyed the couple of times he's done it and hosted as well. He was great. Green Mank, the one I got involved with just because I was on board for it. So that one was really good. I mean, like Simon was saying, I mean, you know, there's never a bad guest, is there? They're just all different. So
To be honest, now that we did have one bad guest. We had one guest that decided to piss off after 30 minutes.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
yeah.
He was busy with something else, wasn't he?
Yeah, we're not going to mention Quipster Nerd's name, but I mean,
that was the only bad guess. That was the only bad guess we had. The one that decided he had better things to do than talk to us.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few where you know you sort of start and they just run with it, and they sort of end up asking you the questions, which I kind of like as well. But yeah, no, I mean it's good just to have the full mashings from cosplay to voice actors to painters to and it's just good to be doing something different each week. And whether you get 5 people, 100 people, whatever, it's just good to be doing something regular where people can tune in and just pick up something different, meet new people, all the cliches, but they're a cliche for a reason. I just think it's a good thing, and we've all met new people, and whether we've gone off to do different things or whatever, I just think it's just a really good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it totally isn't. Like we had Yehan there on a few weeks ago, and he did the face reveal, and like I kind of hark it back to when I used to play Counter-Strike quite competitively. We had a clan that was throughout Europe, and you'd always go with what somebody's gamer tag was. And so when we all met, sorry, I'm just inviting Penge in. He's only 8 minutes late. She's early for Penge. When we all met up, I had a vision of what people would like depending on their usernames, and not one person looked exactly how I thought they would.
His car.
I promise I won't be. It's the birthday video. I've got to be in the car.
And I hope you're not driving as well. You never did that a year ago.
No, I'm in the
passenger seat. He's in the passenger seat. He's all right. He's in the passenger seat.
I'm still alone in charge of the vehicle, but don't tell him Yorkshire police.
So, Simon, as an ex-copper, would that ever wash for you if the guy was sitting in the passenger seat?
Where are the keys? Are the keys in the ignition?
No.
No, he's all right. He's fine.
I know
these things. Sorry. 8 minutes is fashionably late because I've got 3 kids with me this week. Not all mine. And instead of going to the bar, to the kids' disco like they were going to do, they all decided, actually, let's go to bed. Facts.
See, told you to call his kids a twat. There we go, first twat of the night.
They're not my kids, so I can call them twats. It's fine. Even if they were. If it was my kid, I'd call them a little dickhead. You all know that by now, so it's fine.
We were just talking about like our favourite guests, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You get any input in that?
I mean, I said it to you in the week. The obvious ones, Peachy, Duncan Rhodes. I quite like spoken speaking to Frozen Feral, well, that was me and Simon doing that one. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
And who was your 3D printer guy? Forges of War, was it?
Forges of Rune.
That's the one. Forges of some. It was Forges of. I got that much at least. I got a bit of it right. But yeah, no. I mean, you know what? It's mad how quick this has gone, and that exactly 1 year later, I am in exactly the same place in the world in the car. So you know, at least I'm on trend, and I'm keeping it as it was. But yeah, it's been a wild year. So well done, lads. Cheers.
Good lads.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Happy
Yay.
I'm the only one not drinking. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I got a Pepsi. That don't count.
Extra, so like I'm sober.
Why is it extra? What makes it extra?
It's sugar free, so the wife can drink it. It's a better taste than the diet one. It's like Penge Max.
So the extra means it's extra shit.
No,
that's what it means.
Extra iron.
Yeah, it's not as good. Definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, I've come in up the road. Carry on going, Duncan.
No.
See, I couldn't sit in my car for two reasons. The first one, Wilco's doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
And the second one, I don't have that car anymore, so it wouldn't be authentic. So,
well, as long as you try and do a Scottish accent, at least you'll be harking back at some point to the very costume last year. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to do it. Do you know what I mean? At some point. No pressure, but we
you
expect
do my really bad Scottish accent.
You got to do it.
Do it now.
Not right now. He's not a performance seal. At some point.
All right, you wee bastard.
Hey!
There you go. You got it.
And remember, folks, I don't know if you ever played this game when you were younger, but see Battle Masters. Oh, what a game that was! You've got it.
I've not heard
Mark,
of it.
I've never heard of it.
Get off your bingo
I've
card.
never heard of it, mate. I don't know.
It took up your entire bedroom floor.
Yeah.
It was
There's
brilliant.
only one
Check it out
person
after
who
this.
got a set, and that was Duncan. I still maintain that he's the only person in the UK that owned Battle Masters.
Yeah, but I like his commitment. He's still pushing it. That's good. That's true commitment.
He's got to own it. He's got to own it. That's what it is.
And talking about owning it, the Inquisition have got a new sponsor called Orange Brushes. People on Instagram, if you go to their shop and put in Inquisition in capital letters, 10% off, and it's free delivery in the UK. So, folks, give them a wee follow on Instagram. And if you're feeling flush like Penge's going to make it rain this weekend, he's going to buy 50 sets. He's rich now, he's a homeowner.
Ooh, not 50. Fucking hell. But yeah, no, because it's payday. It's a little treat. I did go to Mighty Lancer Gaming in Bridlington, who was one of our previous guests. Very good guest.
They were really good as well, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the guys that were on, Mr. and Mrs. MLG, they were on holiday, so I didn't get to say hello to them, which was a bit of a shame. But still a good shop. Can't knock it.
It's finest, definitely.
And a wee shout out to some former sponsors as well. Since it's the birthday stream, we're also got Boltstone Wargaming in this made-up town called Leek, where you can buy all your bolts, your storms, your wars, and some frustration, some games. And Elements of Power, which I think they sent all of us some miniatures. Simon did some commission work for them. We've had them on as well. I think we've had them on once. I think we were scheduled to have them twice, but I think I had to fuck off and do something. Yeah. Anybody, you guys else want to plug apart from Dream Stuff, because we know that you're just fucking.
Just get that one. Shut that one down immediately.
Get it in there.
Yeah. Games Workshop. I just want to plug Games Workshop for just being there for me. The Inquisition, just for equally being there for me. Simon, every time. Dunk, Penge, and Green Stuff World. Shout out to them.
I mean, I'm still obviously affiliated with Elements of Power and Hopstone Wargaming, so they're not previous sponsors for me.
And you still see that? Do you still go down there every week?
No, not every week. I haven't been down there for a few weeks. I did go to the Elements of Power tournament last month with Matt, which was fun. And then I had Matt on a live stream the day after. So yeah, I'm still affiliated with all of them. So they're not past for me. They're quite present.
And how's Echoes of the Walk going? Are you get more guests coming up soon?
I've gone a bit of hiatus because I had a lot going on. So the last stream I did was 28th of July. I'll probably pick it up in the autumn now. These people that I can talk to and get on. I just thought it just sort of came to a bit of a natural end. Well, you want to come on?
We'll all come on. We'll take over. Fine.
We'll shut it down in seconds.
It's I don't think you realise till you try and go it alone. It's not so much the booking of the guests; it's getting uploads onto YouTube, and then something will fail. Well, I'm still battling to try and edit and get the Elements of Power one up, and it's just a lot of work. So I took a bit of time off from it because it was getting to be with work, doing Instagram and a YouTube channel, it started to feel like everything was work. So I just put it a bit on hiatus, and I'll pick it up again when I've got a bit more time. The last couple of months have been quite hectic, so I haven't really been able to do much with it. But yeah, it's good. I mean, I enjoyed the people I got on. I got Fletcher's painting on, which was good. Just after he'd got his Golden Demon, he's third place. Or was it second place? One of the two. It was good to get Peachy on. Peachy was the first guest. He was the first person I asked because I knew he'd take a lot of heat off me, because Peachy very much does it himself, and you just sort of let him go. So it's been good. It's been quite good. I think I've only had Chris Undivided had to cancel because he had to work. But other than that, yeah, I had some decent guests on. It was good to get people like Steve on. I'm going to take loads of credit for people getting enrolled on Vanguard Tactics, because people watched that stream and realised he was a human being. So
Did you get a cut? Did you get a cut
no,
of them joining up?
No.
I don't count then.
Didn't get a cut from Steve. Peachy was on my stream when he had the teapot idea and the mug idea. Didn't get a cut off that. I just feel like I'm pushing these people and I'm helping them, and I get jack all back.
Nothing.
No, they don't deserve you, bruv. Fuck them.
This is why you make them sign a waiver for 10% of all future royalties.
Yeah.
Send them an email.
You may not realise you signed it, Simon, but somebody was in your house and something was signed. That's all I'm saying.
Send them a big old email about coming on. Say message them on Instagram. Be all nice and nice. Look, I'm going to send you an invite, which is an official thing online, and then just a fat ton of small print.
I saw Steve. I did see Steve 2 weeks ago at Warm World, and he came out to talk to me and Daz. We were having a pint in Bugman's, and I did ask him about all the money he'd raised and if I could have a tenner, and he said no.
Of course he did.
What can you do? What's
been your favourite? Because it's been a year. What's been your favourite, like, new releases, projects, or sort of hypes, trends? You know, painters, things that have happened in the past year that sort of the community's got on, or a massive release like a new box or new set of rules, something like that. Top three or handful of things that over the last year you've been, stoked about or got involved with. That if it's a painting competition, new box of miniatures, whatever. Because it's been a year. What's the last year that your highlights from a sort of a modelling perspective or a gaming perspective, anything like that? Any highlights, chaps?
I'll jump in first on that, because I think big one for me. I think release-wise, I think it's been a bit of a sort of up and down and up and down. Black Templars, were they in the last year?
No.
Well, anyway, there you go. I'd see this is my mind. I can't remember shit. I'll tell you what. Well, this year is a project. I did buy Grimaldus today because I bloody love that mini, and I've wanted to do it for ages. So I thought, fuck it, and bought it.
Bring in Black Templars because he's bought a new model. There we go.
Exactly. You know what though? You know what? This is the first proper release I've bought. The first proper brand new mini I bought. Everything this year I've bought second hand off of Vinted or eBay or trades. I've budgeted my hobby so much this year. I think that's probably a good highlight.
The Penge is one of mine.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool idea.
I was going to bring it up, yeah, because like I remember mine and your first chat ever donkeys ago. You were telling me how hard it was trying to sit down and organise a painting contest, and Simon's mentioned it before as well. And I didn't appreciate it until you actually got to sit there. You mix it in, so it's not just a painting contest. There's also a fun sweepstake as well. So you're running essentially 2 different contests at the same time. And I tell you what, I'd wake up, I'd log into work the morning after the games, and I'd be like, right, load up the scores. Even though I'd watched every single game at the Euros, I was like, load up my spreadsheet of who's who, load up the results, smash the stories out, get everything done. And that was like a good 45 minutes of work. It was like you're saying, Simon, like you get to the point where it's like, it's not a hobby anymore. You are starting to borderline, is this actually fun? But you know what? The quality of people that were coming up for it, and I got a lot of love from the International Guild of Hobbyists, Iron Wolf Hobbies and Dave Hammer. They were all over it. They helped me out massively, like pushing people to join in and stuff. But some of the minis that were in that were outstanding. Like,
oh, cheers, mate. You don't need to mention my name. Just me, like.
But it's even little things like I challenged everyone, like you didn't have to paint Warhammer stuff. I think the vast majority of entries were Warhammer, which was fine. But you know, I had Ewan McMinis, who I always have to give a massive shout out to because he entered a mini that was part of a demo game he was doing at the start of the Euros, and he had to paint like 500 minis up for this demo game, and he still found the time to do this one and shove it in. It was just like a really quick paint job. He was happy with it. He went in, but he was livid because he's an Irishman and he got England. So it was the little bits like that that I bloody loved. I think it was A Up Painting did the Serbian Wolf, outstanding. I can't remember the guy's name, but he did the big horseback guy with all the Ukrainian livery on it and stuff. You know what? People went all out for it, and I wasn't expecting it. I was just like, you know, you got something like I did. It's like, oh yeah, I got Switzerland. Clothesline Ghost painted red. That's Swiss. That'll do. But yeah, it was wicked. Like, and even yours, Rich. I know, like you just happen to handily have this miniature painting up that was red, and you were like, Turkish symbol on it, done. You know, it was just.
Yeah, I was involved.
Exactly. But you know what? I was gutted, Simon, that you couldn't get involved with it properly, man. But it was good fun. And World Cup in 2 years, bigger World Cup, more teams, more involvement, and I'll be all over that. I think we'll get that going again.
Are you, Simon?
See what happens.
Over the last year, I mean, release-wise, I've got too much plastic shit that, and it's all sitting in boxes over there. I got I lost the bet with Des, so I ended up buying the AOS starter set, which I haven't even opened. I got the Old World Dwarves, which I haven't even opened. Yeah, it's just been too many decent releases, so I'm sort of off buying any Warhammer for the foreseeable because I've got so much shit.
You say
it's unbelievable.
You say that.
No, it's literally emptying out the box. I mean, I've had the AOS starter set for over a month, and I've not even taken the whole tape off that's keeping the box together.
Yeah.
Good job we didn't turn it into a game as well.
Say again.
Like a Slaanesh army, you bought like 3 boxes, painted one guy. So it's a background army. How long's a background army take? Is it one every 6 months? I'll maybe do one squad by 2025. Who knows?
But as far as highlights of the year, UK Games Expo was really, really good. I don't know if anyone saw I went on a mission to get everyone to say hello to Norse Paints. And that was quite fun. Just basically walking up to random people and just sticking my phone in the face and going, "Can you say hello to Norse Paints?" And they're going, "Who the fucking hell?" In fact, Peachy did actually say to me, "Who the fucking hell is Norse Paints?" And I went, "Just shut up, Peachy, and just say it."
Say it.
And then I went to the Tabletop Tactics live stream, and there was about 100 people in the audience, and I got the entire audience to say it. It was one of those where I just thought, I've got to do this. It's the perfect opportunity. And Lawrence's wife was going around with a microphone. That was me doing the impression of a microphone. And they gave me the microphone, and I asked them the question, and then I went, "Can I ask you one more thing?" And they went, "Yeah, sure." I went, "Can you say hello to Norse Paints?" And they all went, "Who's Norse Paints?" And I went, "And if we can have the audience participation, that'd be amazing." And they did it.
Fair play.
I did it. It was one of those moments where I thought, this is either going to pull off really big, or security going to throw me out of the hotel. This is the way it's going to go. And luckily, it went the good way. And I did catch up with the Tabletop Tactics guys and had a good chat with them. They're just really, really nice people. Yeah, and I got recognised a couple of times, which was really strange. That was really, really surreal. I was walking around the Whaling game stand. I was waiting for Peachy, actually, because Peachy said he was going to meet me there at 3 o'clock. And I think it was Madhouse Mini Painter. He just saw me and went, "Are you Simon?" And I went, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I was behind you in the webinar." I was like, "Oh, great, nice one, yeah." And then he was just chatting to me for a bit. And I went, "If you hang around, Peachy's coming in a minute." And he was like, "What?"
The guy who knows
And then I had a couple of people who saw me. You know, Peachy, a little bit less famous than me. He could do the publicity, the sweetheart. And then, yeah, I got recognised at Warhammer World. And some people messaged me after the expo, said they saw me, but they didn't want to come across and speak to me. And I was like, "Why? Who am I?"
You've made it.
You made it. You made it. All those people that you commented ages ago about being at Warhammer Fest and feeling awkward because you wanted to go say hello to people but didn't know. And now that's happening to you. People want to say hello to you and they're like, "Oh,
yeah."
That's it.
Daz has just shipped in saying, "I know everyone." Now, I'm going to say this. I said it on Daz's stream on Monday. Daz knows everybody. I don't know anyone compared to Daz. Daz knows everybody. Every time we go to Warhammer World, everybody knows Daz. And he'll always tell me that when I'm not there, nobody knows who he is. He doesn't meet anybody. Every single time I've been to Warhammer World with him, he'll know everybody. In fact, when we were there on the other Friday, one of the staff was on day off and came over and sat and talked to us. He knows rules writers. Daz is connected. I found this out. Daz is very, very connected. So if ever you need any guests on, speak to Daz because he knows everyone.
What about you, Doug? Last highlights from the past year?
Yeah, Mr. Judge a painting contest here. Fucking hell. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I was the only person in Donegal that wasn't actually playing anything that day. But yeah, I got asked to come down to the Letterkenny Gamers Guild. They were doing a Warcry tournament on Saturday and asked me to judge the models. So I picked a guy who turned out that his mate had actually painted that army, and I never even voted for his mate who was playing in the next table. He was raging.
There's no
He was absolutely
nepotism there,
raging.
is there?
It was
There's
just
no
like
nepotism, at least, you know.
I know. It was just like I just liked how he did the swigs. Because everybody had, like, most of the people had like stormcasts and a couple of like other guys, but there was only one person with like goblins and swigs, and the swigs were really nicely painted. I thought, oh, they're tracking. There's a couple of players with dwarves as well. And I thought, oh, these swigs really stand out. And I was like, oh, I'm right, give it to Gary. It turned out Gary never even painted his army. It was one of the other guys that painted it for him. I think for myself, I've learned a lot. It's kind of Simon would testify. Once Simon decided to go and do bigger and better things, Luke decided that he was no longer going to be the IT guy for us anymore. So I decided to take up like editing and uploading, and it's a pain in the arse, man. And then I had the great idea of let's put everything in Spotify, which was a nightmare as well. So I'm still halfway through doing that. So a lot, kind of Simon was touching on like a lot of learning how to edit and all that sort of stuff. Like just when we had on Sandman of Terror, he asked me to delete a couple of things that he didn't want put on, which was totally fine. But it took me like 2 hours to like delete like 2 minutes. And for myself, my painting has come on quite a long way this year. I found my day nights are starting to take shape, and just being comfortable within myself. Like it's been a good year. We've had a lot of great guests on, a lot of people wanting to come on. Like you probably find, you'd maybe agree with this, Simon, that you reach out to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't message you back, or they say no. But we're getting less and less of that now. Where people that we're targeting know about us now, and are happy to come on, which is always good as well. Like getting Adam from Army Painter was massive, because I didn't think he would come on at all. So to have him on has opened up a lot of avenues for future guests for the Inquisition as well, and he was an absolutely fantastic guest as well. And that also helped us get Orange Brushes, because they watched the Peachy video, they seen that we had Adam on for Tactical Painter, and a few of our other guests that we've had on. But it's just like going from strength to strength, where we started last year, and the hodgepodge of why do you not like the Beatles, to like what's your favourite crisp, and why is Chips still the superior TV bike show?
Yeah.
And obviously
we have 4 months of is Fulgrim and nonce.
Yeah.
It's just like after a little while, like, actually maybe we should kill that one. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, see that character that you made up? Why did you make him a nonce? But yeah, like it's been such a quick year as well. I found, like, in the community's been so supportive towards us as well. People coming on and like, and I think as you say, I think as we all agree, if you have somebody that's able to talk, like Mike Mons, shout out to that absolute darling and legend. I think we asked him, what do you think of Citadel? And that was him for 90 minutes.
An hour and a half.
That was it. Like, I went and made a cup of tea, like crocheted, do you know what I mean? Did my garden, and he's still ranting on the absolute legend that he is about null and oil and how the formula's changed and all that. I think getting guests that can chat is a big thing. Asking them,
but you know what? On that, guests that don't chat are great as well in a way, because you know they come on, they're nervous about coming on, and Simon, you might have shown this on yourself when you soloed it, like getting people to come out of their shells and open up is a really big thing, because you were saying before, Dunk, I can't remember which guest it was, but they were struggling with certain bits, and then all of us, I can't remember the guy's name. I was on the stream with you. You mentioned that you were in the army to him, and the next minute, bang, you were off.
I think it was. Yeah, was it no ADHD minis?
Yeah.
Like an army podcast. I was like, do one of these. Like we were all just sat like listening to all the army stories. It was mid.
It's like, 45 minutes of army stuff, and I was just sort of sitting there like, yes, I'm a civilian. Thanks, lads. Yeah, cheers. But you know what? It's that sort of stuff. Yeah, he's in the chat, ADH Minis. It's that sort of chat. It's getting people coming out of their shells, I think, is a really big deal too.
Yeah, I would say that once we get comfortable doing it, like, and I'm still not 100% comfortable doing it, but when we're chatting to folks, after about 10, 15 minutes, you can see them physically relax, especially if they've not been on Instagram a lot or done a lot of lives. Once that, like, 15 minutes has passed, you can see them physically relaxing, and then that's it. You've got them. And I think as well, just
it's normally after when you stop talking about models and start talking about crisps.
Yeah.
That's when they relax, you know what I mean?
A couple of these are always good.
Chips. Yeah.
And then we'll eventually come back onto your Warhammer, but it's then fucking TV shows and all that sort of stuff.
But by that time, you usually got to go watch Love Island, which is really shit. So
listen, you've got to do. Do you know what I mean? Like Love Island's amazing. Do you know what I mean? It's the pinnacle. It's like the Knowles house. It's like the Knowles house party of the late 80s, early 90s. Peak TV, Gladiators, Blind Date, Knowles house party, and now it's just Love Island.
I think
Gladiators came back.
Yeah, Gladiators did come back. Yeah, it's true.
Gladiators, definitely. I'm agreeing on Gladiators. I'm not on Love Island, but you do you.
Sorry, Simon, you were going to say something.
When you're on your own, though, and you get someone who isn't very talkative at the start, you haven't got that backup. You are trying to pad for ages. And there are times. I mean, there are times where I've sat there and I've had someone who's just answered direct questions and not really gone into any detail. And after about 5 minutes, in my head, I'm thinking, I don't know what to say next. I really don't know what to say next. And then finally you find that subject that they're quite passionate about, and then that's the relief thing. It's like, Jesus, thank God they're talking now. I can relax because your mind's constantly going. Yeah. Your mind's just going, shit, I've asked them all the questions I was going to ask him, and I don't know what to ask him now. I'm just going to make up shit on the fly and just hope I hit them something that they want to talk about. And then when they do, and you're like, thank God. And when I got Steve to smile, I was like, thank fuck for that. He smiled. He's human. He's not a robot. It's fantastic.
We did have a guest in February, and it was like very one sentence answers, and you are thinking, oh my God, how are we going to manage to pull this out the bag? And you are then clock watching, going, right, we've got at least 15 minutes left. If we can get to the hour, we're doing well. And it's like, so what did you have for your dinner last night? That's the type of questions that are going in the back of my head. What was your first pet's name? What was your mother's maiden name?
That just sounds like you're trying to hack their emails there, Dunk. What's your first question?
Were you bullied in school? How did that make you feel? It's just amazing how people open up as well, like about their personal lives. Because like one of the guests that we had on, I didn't know he had been married previously either. I mean, I just like, because he's younger than me, and you don't know that about. It's when people start like opening up, and you feel like a bit like Jerry Springer in a wee bit, or fucking Maury Povich. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're like, wow, thanks for sharing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a big deal, isn't it? Like, you don't think about it at the time, and I think this is probably on all of us as hosts, like collectively when we do this, or singly when we're doing our own things, that people do feel that comfortable to just open up and tell us shit. I think it's a good thing that people feel that relaxed and comfortable to tell us, because they're not just telling us at the end of the day, are they? They're telling whoever's watching and whoever's going to be watching back for posterity. But it's also the fact that we've made them feel that relaxed, that they're able to want to have that conversation. And I think that's a big deal as well. That, you know, and we undersell ourselves sometimes, because, like you say, there are guests, and this isn't a bad thing to anyone listening in the chat. We're not going to say that you're all dickheads, but you know, sometimes we probably don't know the best way to sort of ask you the questions that you want to chat about, and we have to sort of probe a little bit, and it feels a bit more like a police interview than an actual chat. But then when we get you clicked and you're unlocked and you're ready to tell us and spill the beans, it's all good.
I mean, if you're comfortable enough to be building IKEA furniture. Yeah,
Well,
that was one of my favourite ones. That
I had the idea when I started off in there, and I was going to get chat to ask the questions. That can swing both ways. It really can swing both ways. People will send you questions, and you're like, I can't ask that. I cannot say
if
that.
I'm in the chat, yeah.
It's like, I can't ask that. And then people send. I'd put like in my story, I'd say, right, anyone want to ask some questions? Some of the questions that I've threw about a certain guest, I'm like, I can't say that. I cannot say that. I really can't. And then when I had Sam on, he was in the chat, I just saw him. Ryan sent so many questions about B&M. It was unbelievable. And then when Ryan come on, Sam did the same to him, and it's like, I feel like I'm in the middle of an argument here.
Whatever you do, never get midwinter minis on, you'll be fine.
One of my other highlights, just touching back on it, I just remember that there was the 40k quiz that we did with Dave Hammer and Paint Party Scott.
Yeah.
That was
that one.
That was great, and we did have Mighty Lancer Gamers and Green Mank, who it turned out had a shop. Nobody knew. Like, we only discovered that halfway through the chat, that he actually owns his own shop and runs game days. He doesn't even promote it on his Instagram.
Questions, isn't it?
Yeah. He's gonna. It was scheduled for July, I think, but I've done my back in or August, so we've had to reschedule it, and I need to sit down and get those questions sorted, because we were thinking of maybe doing like a kind of winter league or something, and kind of do a kind of like quiz on Warhammer Citadel and all that sort of stuff. But that was I loved that. That was really
It was
good.
just cool how
over and done inside half an hour.
Mm.
It was just cool how like competitive they were as well. Like they were literally after each other, weren't they? And it was like you had it sort of planned for like an hour and a bit. And it was like 25 minutes in, it was like they were firing the answers out. Who's won? Who's won? Who's won? It was just like 25 minutes done. I won. Yes. I just love how competitive they were. Do you know what I mean?
And it was
definitely good to see more of those.
It was in at the last round. I thought, well, Dave Hammer was like 3 points ahead, and I was like, he's won this. Like, man, I'm so happy. I didn't even do a tiebreak question. I was like, somebody's going to win. It'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And it came down. I think Dave got his 5-point question wrong, and Paint Patty Scott got his 5-point question right, which fucking tied it. And I was like, right, what the fuck do I do now? So we just started asking. I just started asking them 5-point questions until somebody got one right. But it was such a great. That was a great experience as well. Like, I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Green Man was in the chat there talking away. Yeah, like he's now self-promoting his shop, but like. And like 45 minutes in, it turns out he had a shop like nobody knew.
That's the thing with running a shop.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's just the stuff we don't look for. But well, Mick, you haven't answered this question. We've been chatting away. What's been your favourite stuff over the last year?
Oh, the Penge Hammer thing, definitely. The Penge Euros thing, I thought was really good. I mean, just the same old for me. I mean, the big releases, I really like the old world stuff at the moment. Painting a bit of that, you know, it's nice to see these miniatures back. I've got the Snotling pump wagon. It's nice to be painting metal again. I mean, I don't play, but I just really like the nostalgia of the miniatures and putting them together. You know, painting the metal again. That's really cute. But yeah, just the same old. You know, just getting better at painting. You know, doing the show with down in London, that was great, and meeting some of the people. You know, down there, you know, you were down there, weren't you, Penge? Yeah. And
I was pissed as a lord, but
oh, my internet's been a bit wafty. Oh,
are you in LA or something? Because he's a massive delay on your internet.
Mate,
are you in the country? Are you?
Yorkshire.
I'm in North Yorkshire. The hamsters stopped running. My internet is absolutely garbage. I live in like a little country village in the middle of nowhere. I mean, everything's on delay here, literally.
He's still in dial-up. He has to fucking plug his phone into his fucking router.
I'm really sorry. I've done my best. I've come to the room with the dial-up broadband in. But yeah, it's my internet is rubbish. But yeah, the show was really cool. Meeting Penge and Cat or Rabbit in person. So yeah, old world, the show. I got into the airbrush as well recently. That's nice. So yeah, just you know, same old really. But the Penge thing was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
Cheers, bruv. You're slagging off Yorkshire internet, and I'm sitting on the coast of Yorkshire, and I've got better internet than you in a minute. So figure that one out.
Yeah, I think I need to reassess my broadband provider. Definitely. Yeah, it is really shit.
I think that talking about meeting people, I think that's been the highlight, probably one of the biggest highlights of the 12 months is actually getting out and about and meeting people that you only previously knew through Instagram or social media, and getting out there and meeting people. I mean, I didn't really do a lot at UK Games Expo apart from talk to people. So I felt like I missed out on doing a lot of stuff, but it was really great to just touch base and talk to people in the community. And the same when I've met Daz and Grab Minis and Too Many Minis and all those and loads of people. And it's just been, and I've met Dave Hammer. Just really nice. It's really nice to sit down and chat to people or stand up and chat to people. Just meeting people in the community was really great. I mean, I know you guys don't really know Mini Wargaming Dave, but I met him, and he recognised me, which was fun, which was amazing. And we just chatted for like 20 minutes, and it was like we we were like we were best. It's like I mean, he's hard to. He goes off on one because he's got ADHD, but he's just funny. And it was great to chat to him, and he was really, really nice, and we chatted for ages. And I was the one that said I've got to go. Do you know what I mean? So that was a really big thing for me because he was one of the guys responsible for me getting back into hobby in the first place. Because I started watching mini wargaming, and then I watched Winter's SEO, and that's what got me back into it. So I said that to him, and he was like, gave me a proper big man hug, and it was just like, it was great. And just that side of things has been a really big thing for me. Just the amount of people I've met in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And the amount of people.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, it's just. No, so it's fine. Obviously, I'm on delay because you're in Yorkshire. But that was a big thing. Meeting so many people, getting involved with Matt at Elements of Power, going to his tournament. He's been down to Boltstorm a few times. We still talk and chat. And him and his wife are fantastic people. And I've done my best to make a noise about them and push them around. And it's nice to use the platform and use the follow account, not just for self-promotion, but to help other people out.
Yeah.
I mean, I went and chatted to Dave and mentioned Elements of Power, and then he went over to their stand, and that was a massive thing for Matt, and he got loads of photos with him and a good chat with him. I gave cards. I went around giving Elements of Power cards to people at the Games Expo as well, whether they wanted them or not. I was forcing their business cards on them. So it was really nice to help other people out. It's nice to not promote yourself, but use your profile, as it were, to promote other people. And everyone in the community is really, really great, apart from Quipster. He's an arse. But everyone else is everyone else is fantastic.
You know what, though? Just saying that, right? I don't know what Games Expo was like compared to Salute, because obviously Salute was just a one-day thing in Excel compared to Expo, which was like the 3-day thing. Myself and Rob, aka Cat Rabbit, we went out, we got a bit smashed beforehand, and then went along to it. But what we found was that in a lot of although there were lots of different little groups of people, we were going around, we were chatting to people here, people there, like you're saying, word of mouth, pushing things around. Met Daz there. I think I ran up and jumped on Daz and Peachy when they were chatting to each other, and I was like, "Hey!" And Peachy's looking at me like, "Who the fuck is this pisshead?" But we sort of found that there was a mix of there were groups of people that were up for it, up for a chat, up for go check this out, go check that out and stuff. And others that we took a little bit of an interest in, and we went to sort of go over and have a look at their game boards and stuff and try and get a bit of interaction with them. And there was just nothing back from them. And I will say it seemed to be more the historicals doing that than anything else. But did you sort of find that with Games Expo? You could wander around, or was it just that everyone was just buzzing and happy and chatting away?
Everyone, I mean, Games Expo is massive. It's 3 days. And everyone is just up for it. And you just think you're walking around and you're seeing people you've only ever seen on YouTube or whatever, or it could be people you follow on Instagram, people that you generally admire and you look up to. And me and Daz were saying this the other week when we were talking, having a pint. We were saying the one thing that we can take away from it is it doesn't matter what promotions you get, what companies want to work with you, they can all go away. The fact that you meet these people who you look up to in the hobby, and they are so up for talking to you and so nice, and I'll chat to you for ages, and it's great. It's a fantastic feeling. Like when we saw, there's an awkward story behind seeing Steve the other Friday. We were in the Forge World shop, me and Daz, and can I just say, Daz is one of the nicest people in this hobby. He's one of the guys that I've met and we clicked straight away, and I count him as a really good mate, and he's a fantastic person. But we egg each other on as well. We do really dickish things when we're together because we haven't got a filter and we egg each other on. But going back to my story, we were in the Forge World shop and we walked. Oh, I can't tell the story, but I'm going to tell the story. We walked around the corner and we saw Steve. And now I'd never seen Steve before when I previously met him, not in a Vanguard Tactics t-shirt, and he was in a black t-shirt and black shorts. So I didn't recognise him at first, but Daz did. So Dad said hello. I realised who he was and said, and just asked him why he was wearing black. He said he didn't want anyone to recognise him, and he was on the phone for what felt like hours. And we were sort of just lurking just to say hello, to be friendly. And then we were talking to other people, but we were still in that general area. And then he went into Bugman's. So I walked back into the Forge Rule shop for a bit. I thought I'll just go into Bugman's while I'm waiting for Daz, because Daz was talking to someone. So I walked around the corner, and then Steve come around the corner, and we were looking at each other, and we had one of these awkward silences, awkward stare-offs. And I'm like, shit. And then he got on his phone again. So I pretended I was looking at a cabinet, and I thought I've accidentally stalked him. Because then he went back into Bugman's, and I couldn't go back into Bugman's then because it looked like I was following him. So we had one of these. So we thought nothing of it. We thought, well, that was really awkward. And then we were sitting in Bugman's having a pint, and he texted us and came out to us and said hello and chatted to us for a bit. And we said that was really nice. He didn't have to do that. He was obviously there on some kind of business because he was on a break. And he just came over and chatted to us and apologised that he was on the phone when we saw him. And just things like that, when you realise that these people are genuinely normal human beings, and they're really nice people, and they've got time for people. And that was a big takeaway from me, just how great everyone in the community is. And the Tabletop Tactics guys, every single one of them, fantastic. So friendly, so chatty, always up for photographs with you, just chatting up a hobby with you. And it's just that's what I took away from Expo. Everybody that I met there was really, really nice, and everyone wanted to talk. Everyone would chat to you for 5 or 10 minutes about whatever, about the hobby. It was really, really good. So, the Expo, everyone was up for a chat. We didn't really have many historical war gamers there, though. It was all like board games, and I think it helped the Games Workshop weren't there for the first time in a while. So you didn't get a lot of there wasn't a lot of the guys that are on their little creators program there. There was just a lot of genuine people who just wanted to have a chat, and everyone had time for everybody. And that's one of the big takeaways. The amount of people that I've met in the last 12 months has been really good.
Yeah. So I've got a question for all three of you. What's been the biggest surprise that you've found since doing Inquisition and Echoes of the Warp and firing out 3 million questions inside 60 seconds?
I would say, biggest surprise since starting all this is the fact that, I think, like you say, Duncan, you've been firing off, like, where you've organised about, like, 99% of the guests after Simon ventured off on his own. I would say that it's been great that we've had so many people being receptive to us, because we are just 2 random blokes at the end of the day. Like, I mean, you coined it best when on the description of what the show is. Two blokes who've never met each other speaking to other people we'll probably never meet. But it's just how more receptive I think people are of it, and the fact that there's more of, like, us Echoes of the Warp, what Daz and St. Celestine are doing it. There's all these little things popping up here, there, and everywhere, and it's just, the more of it that is out there, the better, because everyone's getting a chance to have a say. Whereas with a lot of the big names that do it, you're only getting the big names, So the fact that more people are sort of focusing on the average hobbyist rather than, here's a guy that's got, like, interviews in XYZ publication, he's done this, that, the other, or she's done this, that, the other, million YouTube followers and all that shit. I think it's just that people are starting to realise I've got a voice too. And as much as I say Twitter as everyone's screaming into the void, with the little things like we're doing here, it's just great that so many people are wanting to get involved. Like you say, you can message someone and they're like, why do you want me on? Are you sure? You've messaged the right person? It's like, no, we're genuinely interested. You paint some quality stuff. Come on and chat about us. At the end of the day, you're someone who's got a shared interest with us, and yeah, you might give us 50 one-word answers for the first 10 minutes, but like eventually you'll click and you'll have a chat. And it's just, I think, yeah, that's been the most surprising thing, that more and more we're doing this, the more and more everyone's up for it and wanting to get involved.
Yeah, you're right. I think everyone's got a voice Everyone's got something to say. It's always nice to have a big guest on because you know you're going to get a lot of people watching because people want to ask them questions. But it's also nice just to meet people in the hobby who've got common interests and just chat to them and see what they're about. Especially if they're doing something like when I had Daz and Saint Celestine on, because they're obviously doing their hobby collective where they speak to people just randomly for 10 minutes and they chat about their hobby, which I think is really great because it gives everybody a chance to speak about. It gives everyone a 10-minute platform to talk about themselves. Then if you like them, you can go and follow them. You can see more of their work, so it's a good exposure. Plus, we were doing the Operation Dante for Dante Paints for Gareth, trying to raise money, obviously because he had problems with his insurance with his car accident, and then Cookie and Rhino Hammer when he asked us to get involved in that. It's just not just me, Sam, Daz, Saint Celestine. He asked us all if we get involved, and we're like, yeah, no worries. And it's giving everyone a voice. It's not just about the big names in the hobby. It's all about it's all of us, because we wouldn't be here without people watching. You wouldn't be doing this without people watching. You wouldn't have, if I didn't have the followers that I've got, then no one would, I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I've got. That's what I mean when I say it's more about, like, it's not just about what companies want to work with you or getting onto Games Workshop's creator program. It's not really about that. It's about getting out there and building a community. And when I was going through a hard time recently, the amount of messages I had off people, it was just like, are you okay? If you need to talk. And it's just like, these are people that I've probably never interacted with before. My inbox was full of messages, and it's really moving because you think, you know what? You sort of think when you're on Instagram, you're on your own, you're just putting pictures and videos on Instagram and people are liking them and making comments, but you actually mean something to those people and they mean something to you. There's a connection there. And I think that's what's good about it, is there's that many little live streams starting up now where people are just chatting about hobby, and people are interested and they will come and they will listen and they will talk. And that's the big thing as well from this. I guess Inquisition started it all, and we all just followed on. But I mean, Daz does stuff on Twitch as well, which I've been on a few times, and it's just having fun with people and getting to know people and having this community together. That's a really big thing, and it keeps people in touch as well. Like you say, you do message people and you go, well, what do you want me on for? When I spoke to Ryan about coming on, I'd had Maxine on the previous week, and I got Fletch coming on after, and he's like, "Oh right, okay." So I'm just, I've got to try and follow Maxine, and then Fletch is going to come on. Who am I? But it was a really good stream. It was one of the most popular watch stream on my Instagram page, and he did really well on YouTube as well. So it just shows that if you've got a voice and you want to talk, people will listen. It doesn't matter who you are at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for me, just meeting people, definitely. It's like when I first jumped back into the hobby, I could barely use my iPhone for anything, let alone taking photos or putting stuff on Instagram. But then, doing the competitions, getting involved with stuff like the Inquisition, meeting friends, and it's like a lot of my friends aren't into this at all. So not only while doing these things, the lives, the competitions, the community stuff, in the background, I talk to Duncan, Penge a couple of times a week. Even when we're not doing this, what you're having for your tea, what you're doing tomorrow night. So building genuine friendships, off the back of the internet, and then when you meet people physically as well, it's like, to be in my 40s, meeting somebody online and then, bumping into them at Salute because you've got a shared interest in the hobby is just crackers, And if it wasn't for Instagram, the Inquisition, these sorts of lives and, the constant banter in between it all, I probably wouldn't be painting miniatures still. So, the Inquisition, the internet, and Instagram has just facilitated that. So meeting people and putting you all in the same room, and when you get different guests on that are into different things, or gives you the opportunity to follow pages that you wouldn't normally follow, or people that, even if they're not particularly into what you're into in the hobby, you've got a shared interest and they're just sound people. So I'm kind of echoing what you're all saying, but the friendships, I've known you guys for over a year, maybe two, and to be doing this week in, week out, whether it's just the graphics, or just the chat week in, week out. It's just amazing. So yeah, it's models aside, you know, fancy painting aside, it's the connection, isn't it? And it's great that, like you all said, it doesn't matter whether you're a good painter, a YouTuber, a peachy, you know, guy that's got 10 followers. It's just great that even if one person tunes in, at least there's one person sat there going, "This is cool." You know what I mean? And that's really nice. So summed up, just the connections and the friendships, definitely. That's been a surprise that it's still going. We're still all talking and jumping in and out of it along the way. You know, it's just been great. So yeah, that's been the good thing for me.
I think for me, it's maybe slightly different from you guys, obviously the friendships and all that jazz. But from a guest perspective, we've had 2 girls on. We had Leafy the Case, who was a smashing guest, and we had Real Housewife of the Underhive, who only get into Warhammer and painting models through their boyfriends, and they're actually better than their own boyfriends. For me, that's quite funny. Like, that started the question of, at what point do you say to a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend, "I paint plastic soldiers"? Do you tell them in the first day, or do you just like start leaving random pots of paint out? So I think for me, the amount of girls that have picked it up, and like significant others who have picked it up just through them dating somebody as well is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, like you've hit the nail on the head there with the friendships and the connections and all that we've made. And I think when we first started doing, when I kind of floated this idea out to you guys, it was more of getting people that we know that are really good painters and getting them followings and getting that. That was the kind of aesthetic that we wanted, and we've kind of always stuck close to that. Yeah, we did have like the bigger guests to maybe slightly establish themselves, and we still will to bring them on. Yeah. Just people want to see the bigger names as well. But as you said as well, it's like kind of branched off into for other people for other things. Now we do have a question in chat, and I don't want chat thinking that I'm ignoring their questions. So we have Laurie Baldwin, 1993. Thanks for your question. What is a better tactical warsuit or a dreadnought? Now, the reason I got Simon and Casey and to a lesser extent Richard involved is I know fuck all about fucking anything before 2022. So these are the guys that have got the knowledge and the expertise to answer these questions.
Go on, Simon, you go first. Play.
Well, if you've got a warsuit, you've got a shit a dreadnought, haven't you? You've got a shit a dreadnought that can infiltrate. So unless you're playing Phobos Marines, and who wants to play Phobos Marines, stop trying to make Phobos Marines a thing, GW. Why would you ever have an Invicta warsuit? You definitely have a dreadnought. I'd never take an Invicta warsuit over a dreadnought. They're just shit dreadnoughts.
See, you've made it sound like Mean Girls there. Stop making fetch happen. Stop making Phobos happen, Games Workshop. It's not a thing.
Phobos Marines. What? We don't want Commando Marines. We just want Marines who just go
from a non-gamer, I like them to paint. So even though it might be a shit dreadnought, they're fairly pretty. Do you know what I mean? Probably not doing what you guys want them to do on the tin, but they're cool to paint. That's my input. I haven't got the gaming knowledge, but yeah, give me a Phobos. I like them.
I don't.
If you like Phobos, I like Phobos, but this, in my mind, there'll always be shit dreadnoughts. So I'll just take a dreadnought.
See, this is the thing. I like the look of the Mini. I think it's a bit more. It reminds me of the bad guys in Avatar because they had the sick mechs and stuff, and it kind of reminds me of that. But I've loved the dreadnought for donkeys.
Where's someone got the idea from?
You just about start seeing me now. It's dark in here, but no, I fucking love a dreadnought. I've always loved the dreadnought. I missed out on the old Forge World ones back in the day, but I love the Redemptor. It's just a beast of a Mini.
You never painted a dreadnought.
Mate.
You did a good post. I think it was yesterday or the day before of some of the sweet dreadnoughts.
The dreadnoughts. Yeah. I do like a dreadnought. I do like a dreadnought.
I've got beef with dreadnoughts, but I do like the ones you pictured. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like the Hellbrute. I don't like the Chaos Hellbrute Mini compared to the Redemptor.
Some of them,
I just think it's a bit too.
They just look like they just stood there, don't they? Even the Forge World ones, I've always got to hit them with a saw and make them look like they're kneeling or falling over or jumping. But I do like some of the Contemptors and various other ones. But I just want a bit more movement from my Dreadnoughts, from a non-gaming point of view.
I get that. Like, there's even just the simple little things of how you position the arm, how you position the gun, and just little things like. And I think that's just across generally with all of the minis that you can do. You can just change your pose.
Hellbrew. Give us a new Hellbrew, please.
Yeah.
I'm desperate for
about 11, 12 years old, the Hellbrew is now, and it's a bitch to put together, and it's too small.
Looks a bit naff now, you know. Give us a Hellbrew, you know. Stop making new Hellbrew.
There was a new Hellbrew and updated Grey Knights.
We'll be here next year complaining that the updated Grey Knights are shite and the new Hellbrew is shite. So let's see in another 12 months.
Everybody wanted new Sanguinary Guard, and now they've got them. They're all going, this shit look like Stormcast.
Yeah, the Hellbrews are crap.
Yeah. And it's like, wow.
The armor wouldn't look like that. Yeah, all the Bangles are going nuts, aren't they? Oh, that Dante should have had that helmet. All right, calm down about Dante.
I don't like them.
Yeah, that's it.
See, talking about new models, right? See, one of the funniest things that happened on my actual page was mine when they came out with that ridiculous looking fucking Mechanicum guy on the fucking stilts, the sniper guy. Like, everybody hated it, but one guy took offence to what I said, and then fucking it was just like this massive line of arguments. What do you think that person feels like? They put their guts. Well, it was a shite model. Like, if you're a Mechanicum fan, then it's probably your bag. But I'm not going to buy it. But I can.
The dude on stilts is too much.
I can still say it's shit. But that one guy just was like, he was just, anytime somebody put in an argument saying, well, we just don't like it, we're not going to buy it. Yeah, but how do you think that person feels? They put their blood, sweat and tears. Well, good for them. They've got a model. They've actually got a model out there in the world. I'm not. Like, that. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. What people forget as well is everything's designed by committee in GW. That's not just that mini isn't just one person. That mini has been a contemporary design by one person, then it's gone through the design team, then it's been reviewed by the management. It's gone through about 30 people before they've let that out. So 30 people loads of people signed off on that model. So you're not going to offend one person, you're offending about 30. But do you know what I mean? It's like that. It's like the update of that Inquisitor. I'm sorry, it looks like shit. It looks shit. It looks like the villain from Sonic. Do you know what I mean? With the stupid trousers on. It's like, what have you done to that mini? It was a really good mini, and you've made it worse. And I put a video up joking about it. I did a video of the mini, and then Wallace and Gromit with the wrong trousers on the other side. Yeah, Dad probably does know them as well. And I got comments going, "That's you." Someone designed that and put their heart on. I don't give a shit. If I think it's shit, I can say it's shit. If you think it's good, you can say it's good. We can agree to differ. I'm not going to go, I know it's fantastic because they want to hit someone's fifis. It's like, if it's shit, it's shit. Do you know what I mean? You've made something shit. If I do something shit and someone says it's shit, yeah, I'm a bit offended, but I think, okay, that's your opinion. It's shit. Fair enough. I get people commenting. I do a reel and someone goes, this music on this reel is shit. I don't give a shit. It's my reel. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to like... You know what I mean?
It's when they start reacting, it's like all you're doing is making my algorithm so much more powerful. You're giving me unlimited power like Palpatine.
You're just telling the algorithm that I'm popular. The algorithm doesn't care if you're telling me I'm a tosser. You've told me. And I always say as well when someone goes, I'm unfollowing you, it's not a fucking airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Just fuck off. You don't have to tell me you're going.
You know what? You even say that. You say that.
I'm not gonna go, oh, some random stranger in another country doesn't like what I do. Fuck me, I won't sleep tonight. I don't give a shit. Fuck off.
But the thing is, Simon, right?
Not an airport. You don't have to announce.
But you know what the funny thing is, though, like Simon, right? And I mean this with all the love in the world, right?
You've broken Richard.
You get like 30,200 followers on Instagram, right? You're not going to notice that what you've went down to like 32,100.
I lose.
You're not going to notice that. I'll notice that. I've got like 866. Like, no, Pornbot's unfollowed me. You know what I mean? Like, but you got like 30,000. You don't even notice that.
I lose hundreds of followers every month, but I gain thousands. So I don't. It isn't a problem. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? And it's amazing when someone goes unfollowed for shit music. I was like,
That was folded
I mean,
me.
you realise I've got shit music as well.
After choosing that 10-second segment of music for you to call it shit. Now, come on, that's Spaniard order, mate. If you want to
just
do that shit, take it to fucking X and argue with fucking the people that are fighting over, let's bring back the Acolyte to let's not bring the Acolyte. The Acolyte was shit, and that's the end of the story. It's not because
Let's not go
of
there.
any woke reasons, it was shit.
like what Dad has just said as well, the sculptor probably thought it was shit too, but he was just doing as he was told. And it's true. There's many stories in GW's past of like management or changing the design of models and the sculptor going, well, I'll do it, but it's going to look crap. So it's just, you know, you can't just say you're offending one person. You're not. And some people might really like that mini. I really like the new Custodes captain. Most people hate it. And that's fine. Do you know what I mean? I bought it and I painted it. But people will but if I put that miniature up, I'll get 20, 30 comments telling me how shit it looks. And it's like, fine, that's your opinion. I'm not offended.
For me as well, like there's certain ranges that Games Workshop do where it's like, they might not be as popular as other things, but it's almost like they do the sculpts for the big games because they're generic, and then they sort of get creative with other ones. So, for example, Warcry, Necromunda, Kill Team. Like you look at some of the Warcry models and some of the Necromunda characters, and it's almost like, right, I've done the box. I've designed the box of Space Marines for everybody. I've done another Ultramarine captain. Right, you can do whatever you want with this Warcry thing, and then you get these wicked models. And I just think they really don't get the sort of credit as these like new releases. You know, you get a new box of Terminators, you know, some new Bangles. They're great, but it's like, you know, just look at the quality of some of the Warcry stuff and Necromunda especially, which doesn't seem to get the same sort of hype, I don't think. And like people don't sort of say, "Oh, I'm really offended."
A lot of the Necro stuff.
You know what? Do you know
I
what
agree with you on the Necromunda stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that GW are doing. AOS models, Necromunda models, Warcry models, where they're absolutely smashing out the park. Yeah. And then for one of the mainstream games like 40k, they are coming up with some utter shit models. and it's just. But do you know what? It's fine for us to say that if you think the shit. Yeah. If you think something's shit, you should be allowed to say shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not naming the sculptor. You're not naming the design team and telling them the shit. You're saying I don't like that model. And it amazes me when people have to like white knight for people and go, oh well, you could offend somebody. It's like, I'm just saying a piece of plastic. I don't like it, and I've got every right to say that. And you know, if that person, I wouldn't get offended because I've been paid for that job. You know, if you think it's crap, you think it's crap. I don't care. I've been paid now. It's a job.
You know what? I mean? One last word on Cody as a miniature, right? Because I did the look how they massacred my boy from the Godfather thing on it. Look at his shins. Yeah, and the next time you see that mini, look at its shins. They are the fattest fucking things I have ever seen. It's like 90% ankle, 50% knee, and it's like this much shin bone or something. It is ridiculous. He's got the fattest little shins on him ever. His lower legs are like, they look like toilet roll holders. It's ridiculous.
I love
compared to the rest of it.
About ratios.
Oh, yeah, that's the it's that's the thing. Like you know, if you're gonna do sniper on stilts, I could buy into that because he's on stilts. You know, it's Lethal Weapon 2. The house is on stilts. You know, you kind of go with that. But it's a shit mini. It's a shit concept. But you know, they went for it. But if you're gonna do a mini, like, why has he got such fat, tiny shins? It's like a little fat dog that can barely walk. Yeah, that's me on it.
Yeah.
I've got a question for everyone.
It's like the old Terminators. Their arms are, their shoulders are up here, and their arms are up here. But you know, you either like something or you don't like it, and if you don't like it, you should be allowed to say it, and if you do like it, you should be allowed to say it. And you're not offending anybody. No. I'm not saying Steve Smith, who designed this model, is a wanker. I'm just saying that I don't like that model. You know, I'm not having a go at the person personally. It's just I'll never own that model, and I definitely won't pay you £27.50 or whatever it is for it because I don't like it.
It's also I mean, what's going to happen next, right? Is if you put, like, say I really badly, well, I paint a mini, and it's like shit, right? Which is usually my painting style anyway, right? Is somebody going to start messaging me going, how do you think that sculpture feels that you've painted that mini not in his vision? I mean, that's what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? Like, why did you paint it that colour? It's like,
Yeah.
because I wanted to. Why did you put, but that's not the colours for that. Like, fuck off, mate. Well, you know, like, this is my hobby. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I don't like something, I'm never going to buy the mini. So unless you're a mechanical player, it's not going to affect them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go.
I
Spaceball
think
flies getting hate.
Yeah, the flying shoebox spaceful fly. I mean, this is the thing, right? And I've noticed this, and I was going to do a post about it, but I'll say it here. Why is it that of all the 40k flyers, only the Orc one looks like he could actually fucking fly?
Because they just wish for things to happen and it happens.
And,
The Orc flyers look like planes.
Yeah.
and that's what the
The
designers
spaceful
did.
flyer looks like a dildo with 2 engines on the side. I mean, what is that about?
That's definitely what the designer thought though. He's looked at this orc thing and he's like, I wish for this to sell, and it's fucking sold. So there you go. It's orc logic in real world. It works. Right, I got a question for you all. Either with us or on your own things, whether that be meeting people face to face, on lives that you do, or whatever. What has been the most embarrassing thing, hobby-wise, that's happened within the last year? And I'll go first on this because I was just sitting here eating some fruit pastels, and the last time I tried to eat anything on stream, and Dunk was there for it, I tried to eat a curly whirly during a live stream,
Hell.
and I was just sitting there clawing this fucking curly whirly out of the top of my mouth for like 10 minutes, laughing about it. And meanwhile, Duncan Ems are just sort of sitting there looking at me like, the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing?
Yeah, what is like
But,
you were taking a stroke at one point?
but yeah, what's the most embarrassing thing hobby-wise over the last year? Or, yeah.
For me, it was like asking Graham McNeil the same question 5 different ways. Till I was half pissed.
My internet went off. I missed that.
Asking Graham McNeil the same question 5 times, different ways, till I was half cut.
I think, Rich, we all know is you asking every question under the sun in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, panic question asking. Yeah, I had a sheet of questions and I went through them all in about 10 seconds. And then Dunk did the gentlemanly thing of realising that I'd run out of questions and then was like, right, Rich, have you got anything else you want to add? And then did that about 4 or 5 times towards the end of the interview, completely putting me on the spot. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Penge, and thanks for having my back, Dunk. You're a legend.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
So yeah, that.
Simon?
I don't know. I think there's always an element of embarrassment in most live streams because you sometimes you completely brain fart and you realise you're asked like Duncan just said, you're asking the same question but in a different way, and then you can see from the person that you're talking to that they're looking at you like, I've just answered that, and they just and you're like, I know you have, but it's like you're having a mental conversation with them and you go, I know you have, but can you just answer it? Because I don't know what else I'm going to think of. When we used to do the live stream together, and like Casey had asked the question that I was going to ask, because we never discussed who was going to ask what, and so Casey had asked the question I was going to ask, and then someone had put in the chat, Simon, it was my turn to talk, and I'd be like, fuck. I don't know what to say. And there's that like awkward 30 seconds that feels like an eternity when you're like, I've got to ask something, my mind completely fucking blank, and you end up going, what's your favourite packet of crisps? That's
That's a brilliant one.
You've got in your head.
I remember
That's
the
the
Graham
best
McNeil
question
question.
on the Inquisition.
I remember the Graham McNeil question is like, I think it was like the 3rd time I asked him, he gave me such a Scottish answer back. Because I remember saying to him, I says, like, so you live in Los Angeles now and you play tabletop games. Like, do people recognise you when they go to play you in a 40k game? And he goes, well, in a pure Scottish way, he goes, well, it's not as if I'm going at them. Hi, I'm Graham McNeil, best-selling author of all the books that you've read. And I was sitting there going, you are such a fucking moron. And that is the end of the Inquisition from now on. because I just get totally destroyed off a fucking guy from Fisher Briggs. You know what I mean?
To be fair, though, that gave me the idea that when I really embarrassed Daz, that when we first went to World, me, Daz, and Waters and Minis, and we were walking through the gaming hall, and I was going, "Do you know who we are? Do you know who we are? We're a big fucking deal, we are. Do you know who I am?" And then Daz was trying to do a live outside in the car park, and he told me he was there, so I came out the doors, the main doors of Wamwell, and there was three Spanish tourists by the Rhino, and I come flying out the doors. Doors automatically open, and I sprinted across the car park, and I went, "Oh my God, it's Dazball Wargaming!" Scared the shit out of these people.
So, Penge.
And it's the only time Dad's ever gone, "Seriously, can you shut the fuck up now?"
So, we all know that all the celebrities like to go to Warhammer World, and one of the best mattress actresses of all times, I've been told. I've never heard of this lassie before. Mia Malkova.
Yeah.
Did she ever respond back to you, Penge, about coming on the Inquisition?
No, I shot my shot and I got blanked. But you know what? I tried. You know, it's when she every now and again she posts something up and she's like, not that I follow her on anything. I mean, people watch this. But like if a random celebrity pops up and they're like, "Oh, I do this," apart from James Cleverly, the ex-Tory MP, the cunt, I'm not inviting him on. But yeah, like if anyone's so sort of semi-famous pops up, don't ask, you don't get, mate. It's like you experienced with Graham McNeil, with getting Peach on, getting all the people that we've had on all of our stuff. You don't ask, you don't get. So why not? I mean, shit, I chat to that Francis Bourgeois guy about train spotting for an hour. I think he's hilarious. But until you ask, you know, you're not gonna get anything back. So
they're just normal people painting miniatures as well. And I think as well with like the guys that have got more like YouTube channels, more followers, and all that. I think people don't ask them, and I think they're just like us. You know, they're just people who paint miniatures, do content, whatever. So it's like I think sometimes when you ask them, they're just pleased to do it, aren't they? Because they even though they've been successful, they're just the same as us, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got a question for all three of you, right? And it's to do with music, right? To do with music. As you all know, I hate the Beatles.
Fuck off. Sorry.
But one of the worst bands that have ever existed get back together. I fucking hate Oasis, right, as well. Just as much as I hate the Beatles, right? What are your sentiments on Oasis getting back together, ladies?
I'll open up on this because I've said this to a few of my mates. Like a couple of years back, I was lucky enough to see the Rolling Stones in concert. And as much as I'd always wanted to see the Stones, it was the worst concert I've ever been to because it was at the London Stadium where West Ham play, the old Olympic ground. And sound-wise, it was dog shit. It was too open. You could barely hear Mick Jagger. It was going straight out the roof. But the warm-up act was, I always get these two wrong, which was which. It was BDI, which was Liam. Yeah, because it's an old Gallagher high-flying bird. So, yeah. And he did an Oasis set. So every song was an Oasis song. So I feel like I've seen Oasis and, I don't really care either way. But back in the day, I didn't mind them. Back in the early 90s, mid 90s, Britpop was cool, Blur, Oasis and all of that. Indie was a decent thing back then. So I didn't mind them. As to them getting back together, put new music out and then we'll discuss it.
I couldn't.
Sorry, go on.
I honestly couldn't give a shit. Well, sorry, I honestly couldn't give a shit. I was never a big Oasis fan when they were big. I think a lot of their music is ripped straight off the Beatles anyway. They ripped off the Stone Roses as well, and it's just like they're a band that plagiarised everybody else. And then the only song I ever remember of Oasis is Wonderwall, because that's always a song you end up singing at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're pissed at a nightclub or a get together or disco or whatever. So I couldn't give a shit. People are going mental about it like it's a second coming. Even my 15-year-old niece wants to go. Oasis split up before she was born, and it's just like, what do you want to go there for? It's just not. it's not my kind of music. It never has been. I've never been an indie fan, and you can just tell that a lot of their songs are ripped off other people's music, and it's just it's not a big deal as far as I'm concerned. The two Mancs who look like tramps, who are continually arguing, think they're hard men, and they're just not. And I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's like, good on them, fantastic, make some money out of it. But I couldn't give a shit, and everyone needs to calm down.
Now, this would be the Richard's going to come out here that he's fucking got a Liam tattoo or something, ain't you, Richard? That you've seen them like 4 times and you love them.
Seen them 4 times. Absolutely love them. I'm excited as everybody else. I've got a huge picture of Liam in my front room above my fireplace. They're one of my favourite bands of all time. And, you know, we're all entitled to our opinion and difference in painting models and music. And you're all fucking wrong. They're brilliant. I've got 16 laptops set up for the next couple of days. And I'm going to spend at least 14 grand on getting the tickets. And I'm going to go and see him again. I'm going to be a very, very happy boy. So, yeah, it's just the opposite. I absolutely love them to pieces. One of my favourite bands of all time. Simple as that.
You know what?
The thing is, like,
I might go see him.
See, you just talk about Liam being a hard man, right? Liam gives this that he's a big hard man, he'll take anybody on. Alan McCoy was banging his wife for years and never did anything about it.
Yeah, but do you want to be the guy that punches up Ali McCoy? You know, it's a bit much.
It's like if you like him. I mean, I Rich doesn't go away and cry in the corner now because we've insulted his favourite band. But if you like him, you like him. But I never thought they were that good.
Yeah,
but I'm not into that kind of music, so it wasn't for me.
The sculptors, the painting, and the same as it. You know, it's music is the same as art. It's a matter of opinion.
And I think their public antics as well would put me off them personally. All the I like my kid, I like our kid, I'm dead old, I am, I do drugs, and it's like, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. You're an ugly bloke in a Mac. Go away. You know what I mean? But if you like that and that's your image and that's what you want to do, then good on you, go for it. But you wouldn't catch me dead at an Oasis concert.
You know what? I was talking to my mates about this the other day, right? And part of me thinks I might go, part of me thinks I don't know if I can be asked. The big thing is the ticket prices, because if they turn around and they're like, oh, by the way, it's 150 quid for a ticket, be like, nah, you're all right. But if it was a reasonable price, like 50 odd quid, maybe, but well, yeah. I think concerts nowadays are just sort of overpriced anyway, because you go there, you pay for the ticket, and then you got to pay for any drinks or any other stuff that you go in there for. And I can remember back in the day paying 20 quid to go see Korn with Static X as their warm-up act, and that was sick. I hate Static X though still, but yeah, it's like what you used to get for your money with gigs compared to what you get now is very, very different.
Deutschland Joya, we're talking about how shite Oasis is.
Although, what can I say? I went to see the Hives in March, and they were fucking brilliant. Those blokes are all in the 40s, and they are fucking amazing. It was amazing, and they went to see them in Nottingham. We didn't pay like massive amounts for the tickets either, and they were great. The stage presence was great. They got the crowd involved. They were fantastic, and that was well valued for money. So if you ever get a chance to go see the Hives, go see the Hives because they're fucking ace.
Yeah. Go on, and actually, well, we got the last 2 minutes. Best gig you've been to? I think this is a good one to sign off. Best gig you've been to?
Rammstein, 1998.
Simon.
I just said it. That's the best gig I've been to.
Rich.
Prodigy 94.
Nice. You know what? I've been Prodigy a couple of times. They're always good. But I would say Beastie Boys in like 2008, I think it was. Beastie Boys were fucking amazing live. And it's just a shame that we lost one of them. But they were mustard back in the day, man. Seeing them live, they were sick.
Who would you like to have seen and you've not seen live? For me, Sepultura. 90s Sepultura back in the big political days.
Simon, go.
I'm not a massive gig goer, to be honest. So I'm trying to think. I wouldn't have minded going to see Metallica when they were good,
Oh,
before they were completely committed.
Oh.
I am a big fan of the Black Album, and if I could have gone and saw them around that era, then that would have been good. Then they went all a bit shit. They bought some really shit albums out after that. The Black Album is by far the best album they've ever done.
Rich.
Nirvana, hands down.
Right, I'm gonna fuck you all up. I would have gone and seen the Beatles. Fuck you all.
What a perfect ending. Perfect.
And that is the end of the Inquisition forever now, folks.
Perfect.
We
What
lasted a
a
year.
perfect ending. Love
Should we?
it.
Should we sing out to Penny Lane? Just sing Penny Lane to go out just to them.
Right now, I could be start singing "We All Live in a Ford Focus." I've been in this car that long.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh when your battery is as flat as fuck tomorrow. By the way, there's no way your car's starting.
Yeah, perfect. That Penge, perfect.
So this is gonna be my last question before we all go into it. Probably something that people are interested in as well. What are we all working on right now, mini wise?
Go on, you boys go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing it's the Yorkshire delay. It's a death proxy, so it's like a Nurgle Greater Demon, sort of looks similar to Nurgle by one of my mates who's printed it from the States. So yeah, it's an on-Games Workshop model, but a great big stupid Nurgle thing. It's taking me ages. So yeah, that at the moment.
I'm not really working on. I haven't painted for over a month. I've still got Lord Invercourt's not finished. Karanak not finished. Mutarian's still not finished. I've got 10 Berserkers over there that are not finished because I just haven't had the time or the motivation to paint in the last month or so. So I haven't really been doing any painting. So I've got plenty of projects, but nothing that I'm working on currently.
Good. Well, hopefully this gives you a bit of kick up the bum and gets your brain engaged with it again, bruv. But for me, I'm a bit like you. I haven't painted anything for like a good 7-8 weeks because of moving house, getting into the new one. I've been on holiday twice. It sounds like I'm made of money. I'm not, but I've got my eyes on getting an eBay rescue squad of Necron warriors that I'm going to convert into the snipers. Just because I don't like the proper bodies from the death marks, is it? Yeah, I think the proper bodies from them are just a bit too bulky, considering they're meant to be like an infiltration unit as well. So I'm just going to slap them on some normal warriors. I think it looks a bit better.
I'm actually building a noise marine.
Yeah.
I have my own terrible taste on it.
So cool.
I brought that off a guy. And I'm going to be working on. So I've done my Draenei, so I need to take a Draenei break, and I'm going to try and finish off the 2 guys that you sent me, Richard, the Death Shroud. So that's what I'm working on this now.
Sweet.
Wicked.
Right, folks. Thanks for joining us again. It's been an absolute blast down memory lane. I just want to say thanks to everybody who's joined us tonight. All our sponsors, current and former. So we've got Boltstorm Wargaming, Element of Power, and Orange Brushes. Give them a follow on Instagram, folks. Cheap, sable brushes at affordable prices. If anybody you want to shout out to before we wrap it up there, ladies?
Out to the Ford Focus and switching the fucking lights off again.
I just want to say, it's not an airport. You don't have to announce your departures. I'm done.
It's true.
That will be getting made into a reel. I kid you not.
So good.
We'll get it on a plaque for you.
Yeah.
Shout outs. I mean, Boltstorm Gaming, obviously, Elements of Power. Tag My Base. I've done some work with them. Artify brushes. Sorry, I know you've got your own brush sponsor, but obviously I've done some work with them as well. And also Monument Studios, which I'm going to be doing some work with them in the future.
Green stuff world, 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 green stuff world.
fucking the Candyman where fucking Dean stuff was going to drop a fucking crate
They'll
of
all
ice in your
appear,
house.
all the basic stuff will appear in your room.
Some random Spanish person's going to be in my ear now, telling me to buy his paints.
All your points will start sending you it. They've learned from it.
Or Grumpy Teacher pops up behind fucking Richard right now.
Brilliant. I have to get it.
It's been an absolute blast. We're back next week. I can't remember who the guest is. I think it might be Real Housewives' husband.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. And we'll see you all next week, and this will be
Thanks,
uploaded on
chaps.
YouTube at some point. Simon, thanks again. It was great chatting to you, buddy.
No.
Richard,
Yes,
Casey, enjoy getting your car jump started in the morning. See you later, folks.
See you later.
See you later.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.